Folks, welcome back. I hope I got a good video for us today. It's some of the most beautiful castles in Germany, and I really needed something to kind of cheer me up right here because it's dark, it's gloomy, it's pouring to rain, it's windy outside, and it's just one of those days where you're just kind of like, ugh, you know what I mean? So I needed something here that's going to lift us up a little bit. So I hope we got a good one here for us. Like I said, some of the most, it says the 15 most beautiful castles in Germany. So I'm excited for it. Let's get into it. I'm weirdly obsessed with castles. There's something about them. I don't know what it is, but I just think that they're beautiful, they're majestic, and just some of the areas that they used to put them in, or I shouldn't say used to, just put them in, is just phenomenal. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and hop into the video here.
Hi there, welcome to Luck's Attic.
Hi.
Today we'd like to show you the 15 most beautiful castles in Germany.
Yeah, look at I'm going to stop it already, 5-6 seconds in. I think, I don't know how to pronounce it. I think this is the one that like Disney World is modeled after. But look at that. I mean, back in the day, or I'm just going to stop talking. Just look at that view.
With over 2,000 years of rich history, Germany is home to some of the most beautiful castles in the entire world. A country with more than 20,000 palaces,
the history,
forts, and manors just waiting to be discovered.
The cultures,
whether you're a history buff, just appreciate beautiful architecture, or you're into photography, then castle visits must be on your bucket list.
Man.
If you're not sure which places you should visit first, we've made a list with the 15 most beautiful castles in Germany.
Okay.
Number 15. Glurg Castle. One of the most important Renaissance castles in Northern Europe, the superb Glurg Castle sits on the Flensburg Fjord, in the town of Glurg. It was built on an old monastery site, which housed many dukes and nobility, since the middle of the 16th century.
Right there on the water.
Since it's very close to the Danish border.
It's easy to go get your dinner, just poke your fishing pole out the window.
This castle was also used by many Danish kings throughout history.
Wow.
Owned by a foundation headed by Christoph, Prince of Schleswig-Holstein, it now operates as a museum, which is open to the public. If you happen to be in the vicinity, it's definitely worth a day trip, especially when their gardens are open. Number 14. Burg Altenna.
Oh.
The imposing Altenna Castle is located in the small town of Altenna, a 40-minute drive from Dortmund. Built in the 12th century on the Klusenberg Hill, this medieval castle was owned by the Counts of Burg. The House of Burg eventually abandoned it. The castle was even used as a courthouse and prison at one point in time, and in 1914 Richard Skierman turned it into a youth hostel.
Okay, so are castles in Germany, are they very similar to what the ones you would find in like Scotland, or in different parts of Europe? You know what I mean? Like I've always kind of wondered if they're, I know they're going to be kind of built similar because there's only certain ways to build castles for, defense and housing and space and stuff like that.
Which is still operating today.
Just curious.
The hostel is located on the lower castle courtyard, while the rest of the rooms have been turned into a museum.
It's awesome. It's just so awesome.
Number 13. Drberg Castle. This charming hilltop castle, located in the town of Eisenach, in central Germany, was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1999. Over 1,000 years of Germany's rich history can be still noticed today, as some of its original structures from the 12th and 15th centuries have been beautifully preserved. The interiors were restructured in the 19th century, turning the Drberg Castle into a must-see attraction.
Okay, cool.
12. Lenberg Castle. A late 18th century castle of lions, the Lenberg Castle is a medieval castle which was purposely built as a fortress. Sitting in the Burg Park Wilhelmshöhe, near the town of Kassel, the Grimm brothers' charming city, this castle is also a must-see. From the ruins that have been beautifully preserved, to its Baroque-style interiors, the armory, and the neo-Gothic...
It gives me like a what's it, monastery vibe right here, and it could have been, if they fully lived in it, that could have been like a...
Not to mention the splendid outdoors, this castle offers lots to see.
You said it as I was talking.
Number 11.
Good at that.
Shinberg Castle. Today, the Shinberg Castle is a fancy hotel restaurant, located in the UNESCO World Heritage Site, above the medieval town of Obersel. Perfect for foodies, the menu is delectable, and the breathtaking views of the Angeheuler Valley make it a culinary experience of its own. The building itself is quite a special history as well.
In this video because I just
it was first built in the early 900s, and it was destroyed in 1689, during the War of the Grand Alliance by French soldiers. It remained in ruins for roughly 200 years, when a German-American family restored it. The town council eventually took ownership, and since 1957 it is leased to the Hupp family. Number 10. The Meseberg Castle. About an hour drive from Frankfurt, this late medieval, early Renaissance castle is a photographer's dream. The area around the superb Meseberg Castle is surrounded by woods.
It looks small. It looks easy to get to. No, I shouldn't say it like that, but like easy to traverse. I mean, you can just ride up on your boat with it. Wow.
And the castle sits right on a picturesque lake.
Wow.
As of today, the family of the Counts of Ingelheim are the owners of this magical castle and still live on site. Who wouldn't want that?
I'd be right there.
Number 9. Drberg Castle. This late 19th century private villa, situated about 20 minutes from the city of Bonn and 40 minutes from Cologne, has a very interesting history. If you believe in dragon tales, this one will surely capture your attention. Siegfried, hero of Nibelungenlied, apparently slayed the dragon Fafnir on those hills, and bathed in his blood to become invulnerable. Today, the castle is fully restored and open to the public on the weekends. Its architecture is unique, and even though it's not as big as other castles in this list, it deserves to be ranked as one of the most famous castles in Germany.
Wow.
Next up, number 8. The Hohenzolen Castle.
Wow,
the mighty
that.
Hohenzolen Castle is not only one of the most beautiful castles on this list, but its surrounding area is truly breathtaking as well.
It matches
this castle is situated in the county of Ostallgäu, in southwestern Bavaria, very close to the Austrian border.
Wow.
The great King Ludwig II of Bavaria lived in this palace in the late 19th century. His father, King Maximilian II, rebuilt and redecorated the castle in a stunning Gothic revival style, which is still preserved today.
You not want to live there and wake up there every day.
Number 7. The famed Heidelberg Castle. What makes this castle so popular with tourists?
It's huge.
The Heidelberg Castle was built in the early 1200s, but was struck by lightning in 1537, and never fully recovered. It still sits on partial ruins, even though the castle was expanded by 1,650. In 1764, another lightning bolt destroyed some of the rebuilt sections. If you're interested in guided tours of the courtyard, the terrace, and its surroundings, it is recommended you book your visit in advance, as this is one of the most popular palaces to visit in Germany.
I gotta be honest with you, I hate to be like this, I've never heard of it. They say it's one of the most popular, and what makes it so, like, major with everybody. I've truly never heard of it, but that is, whew. It kind of looks like this lunatic asylum that we have. I know it's, just not too far away from us. It was an asylum, and it kind of gives me that same vibe. It's a little creepy.
Number 6. Reichsburg or the Cochem Castle.
Look at that.
This imperial castle thrones over the Mosel River Valley, right above the colorful town of Cochem, and it's one of the largest medieval castles in the castle. If you want that picture-perfect photo and a unique cultural experience, this is the site you may want to visit. During the summer, there are lots of events here, which immerse the visitors into the medieval life of the castle. But at Christmas there's a special Cochem Castle Christmas, with traditional preparations and festivities. 5.
Decorate that with Christmas lights and stuff like that. You maybe put like a big tree or something in the courtyard, and hopefully get a nice snow. I don't know if it snows there or not, but hopefully get like a nice snow on it. That'd be...
The Schwerin Castle. Since 1857, the extraordinary Schwerin Castle is state-owned, but before that it housed dukes and the Grand Dukes of Mecklenburg. It is an old castle which dates back to the early 900s, but more records can be found from the 1800s on.
Holy cow.
Throughout the centuries, this castle went through many updates,
That looks
and
like
only parts of the building, dating back to the 16th and 17th centuries, were retained. This beautiful piece of architecture is surrounded by lakes and forests in the northern part of Germany. Number 4. The charming Lonstein Castle. This spectacular Gothic revival castle is another privately owned castle, located in southern Germany, about an hour drive from
I've said it in a lot of the videos I do on Europe, but I love how they just take a random rock in the middle of nowhere and say, I'm gonna put a building on that. Or a castle in this case. I absolutely just love this stuff.
The unique history of the superb Lonstein Castle dates back to the years 1100.
And I love how it
was destroyed at least twice and rebuilt in the 14th century, about 500 meters from the original
Imagine
ruins.
waking up.
It had a few different owners throughout the
snow.
centuries and went through countless restorations.
You just wake up, you look out,
its rich history and its picturesque setting is probably the reason why it is one of the most popular castles in Germany.
It's gorgeous.
Number 3. The mighty Hohenzolen Castle. Another privately owned castle, the Hohenzolen Castle is the ancestral seat of the Imperial House of Hohenzollern, sitting pretty on top of Mount Hohenzollern, about an hour southwest of Stuttgart. It was originally built in the 11th century, and it also went through several updates and restorations as the years went by. The last one dates back to 1867, when architect Friedrich August Stuhler got his inspiration from the English Gothic Revival architecture and the chateau of the Loire Valley. The castle is a must-see, not only for its incredible architecture, but also for the panoramic views it offers.
Yeah.
Number 2. The picturesque Burg Els. Burg Els is probably the world's most beautiful Burg, a castle which belongs to several heirs and descendants of the Els family.
I'm just kind of at a loss of words. For one, I think we know what number 1's going to be, but it's just so beautiful. Wow.
This stunning hill castle is very well preserved, a statement of the gorgeous Romanesque and Baroque architectural style. 2/3 of the castle are open to the public, and the third is being used by a branch of the family as their private residence. It is a grandiose palace, hidden in a forest, that's definitely worthy of a visit.
Wow.
Finally, we're at number 1.
Yeah.
The Lonstein Castle, probably the world's most famous castle.
Yeah, we knew that was going to be number 1.
This idyllic 19th century Romanesque revival palace is situated near Füssen, in the southwestern part of Bavaria.
I mean, look at that. That is picturesque right there. That is what I've been talking about. Give me one of those castles with the mountains and the hillsides in the backgrounds and just snow covered. Nice little fire in there to help keep you warm, because I know they're not, an old medieval castle's not warm. You gotta warm it yourself, and just
a few steps away from the Hohenzolen Castle. King Ludwig II of Bavaria built this palace out of his personal funds in honor of Richard Wagner, and today it is state-owned. It really is a breathtaking sight, with a mesmerizing architecture that also inspired the castle in the Disney movie Sleeping Beauty.
Oh.
Since it is a very popular attraction, their rules for guided tours and photos are pretty strict, but there are a few special platforms from where you can take that picture-perfect photo. This video is just a quick guide, meant to show you 15 of the most beautiful castles you can visit in Germany. It can definitely get overwhelming, but depending on what your itinerary is, you are bound to find one on your next trip there. We hope you enjoyed this video.
Wow.
Don't forget to click that like.
Okay, well, look, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I love castles. I've been in love with castles since I was a young pup and watched, like Lord of the Rings, and then as I grew older, started watching things like Game of Thrones and stuff like that, and it's just that medieval style of life, while it was more difficult, at the same time it just was intriguing to me. You know what I mean? It was, you just worked for your food. You know what I mean? You worked for your food. You didn't go out and do all these other things and have all these amenities and stuff that we do now, but you just, I don't know, it was just intriguing. It's just, I don't know. But castles are gorgeous, and I know this would have been a hard video to make, because I've had comments of people tell me that there's like 25,000 castles and cathedrals and stuff like that in Germany. So imagine sitting down and saying, man, what are the 15 most beautiful ones? So obviously we know that number 1, I still don't, I can't properly pronounce it, so I don't want to butcher it and be offensive to people. We know that it's kind of way more modernized, and been updated, more modern, but man, it's gorgeous, especially with that snow. Oh, I just love it. So yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed that video. Leave a like on the video if you did. Consider sharing it with all your friends. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It helps me out tremendously, and it's free for you. And yeah, other than that, guys, thank you all so much for being here. I thoroughly enjoyed this one, but I'm kind of I'm a medieval geek. I love this kind of stuff. So thanks everybody for being here, and we'll see you on the next one.